On a cold winter morning in 580 AD, the grey sky of Paris hung over the royal palace, while the corridors of the Merovingian court were filled with whispers. Amidst the scent of incense, the Fescian princess Philopa entered the life of young King Childebert II, transforming the balance of the room. Philopa was no ordinary courtier, but a descendant of a royal family from Visigothic Spain. Her eyes bore the sun-kissed shadow of the south, and her heart held the cunning of women who knew that beauty was a weapon, but not the only one. She knew the court was a battlefield where tongues were more likely to slaughter than swords. Childebert II, who inherited the throne of Burgundy and Austrasia before he was 8, grew up in a world where his legacy was being plundered by greedy men, amid the intrigues of his powerful mother, Brunhilde, and the daggers of nobles hidden beneath luxurious coats. When Philopa entered his life, she was like a warm touch to the heart of a cautious king. He loved her imposing presence, her love of learning and poetry, and her smile that concealed more than it revealed. But royal marriage was not just a love story, it was a political agreement woven in the shadows. Philopa knew that her marriage was an alliance between the Visigothic kingdom and the Merovingians of the north, and that she had to play the full role: a loyal wife, a political ally, and sometimes a vigilant eye that spotted danger before it approached. On winter nights, she would sit beside Childebert by the fireplace, listening to his worries about court intrigues. She would tell him stories about the wise men of Toledo and the knights of Spain, as if to instill in his heart the belief that kings who know history do not fall easily. Her words were sometimes like a bomb, and other times like a harsh warning that awakened the ruler before it was too late. As the years passed, the palace began to whisper of the queen's influence, of her ability to calm conflicts among the nobles, or ignite them with a single word. She knew that time was unforgiving to queens who left politics to men, and so she did not allow herself to be a mere shadow in Childebert's life. Rather, she was part of his major decisions. But history, like a river, does not stop at a moment of harmony. With Childebert's death in 596 AD, Philopa found herself facing a cold wind that swept away everything she had built. She was no longer the beloved queen in her palace, but a young widow caught in the middle of a power struggle between the heirs to the throne and the wolves of politics. Nevertheless, her name continued to echo in the courts, not as a forgotten retinue, but as the memory of a woman who entered the heart of a king, participated in shaping his reign, and maintained her position even as everything around her changed. Philopa knew that kings are remembered for what they accomplished, but queens are remembered for what they inspired and the impact they left on the hearts of their contemporaries. Thus, her image remained in the memory of the court. An elegant, majestic lady, combining the delicacy of Spain with the austerity of the northern kingdoms.